We cannot wait to celebrate our top teams during our closing ceremonies, so I hope that you're all enjoying your team tents. And I'd now like to introduce our amazing MC this morning, our New York City honored hero, and a friend of the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Tina Aswani Amprakash.
Thank you so much, Brenny and Ashley. My name is Tina Aswani Omprakash, and I'm really honored to be here today. Are you all ready to walk or what? Come on, guys, I need a little bit louder than that. Yeah! So seeing you all here today is truly inspiring because you guys have all come together to take steps for the 1.6 million of us Americans who have IBD and suffer with it every single day. You guys are truly an inspiration for me, and this hope confirms that we will find a cure in our lifetimes. So to just give you a little bit of background about me, Crohn's nearly took my life one too many times. It took my father's life, it took my aunt's life. It really robbed me of a childhood and the kind of happiness and innocence that a child should have. But instead of hating on Crohn's disease today, I just want to say that my diagnosis of Crohn's is one of my greatest blessings to date. It's made me endure over 20 surgeries, over hundreds of procedures, but I am so thankful for the opportunities it has given me, for the people that I have met, for the perspective that it has given me on my life, and my third ostomy now has given me a new lease on life. Being honored hero in New York City has really been a turning point for me. And I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. So thank you so much to the foundation for that. I've learned that one voice, one strong voice, can make a real difference. So I urge you all to speak out and raise awareness as much as possible. I've started my own blog recently called Own Your Crohn's to empower patients like us to lead fuller lives. And I've been supporting the Women's Support Group for the last couple of years, helping to empower them and to give myself a voice and really a platform to raise awareness and acceptance for these diseases. Now I'm venturing on starting a teen IBD group with two of my favorite people, Melissa Wilner, Ramsey Kanazi. So if you guys are interested, please feel free to speak to us about that. But what I'm hoping for is that we can create a similar platform for our teenagers to have a voice about these conditions. With that, I would like to say, IBD might be a beast, but we're stronger than that. We will get through this. We have to keep fighting. I want you all to promise me this morning that you will keep fighting. You, your families, your loved ones, keep fighting, keep raising awareness until the day a cure is found. Can you guys do that for me? Yeah? With that, I'd like to introduce Megan Allen, who will be singing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the can sign up at the table in the corner over there. It's karaoke with a live choir behind you. So if anyone wants to sing, sign up back there. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Megan. Now, guys, I'd love to introduce our 2018 Honored Heroes. I need you to make some noise for them. Our adult honored hero is Janine Tanella Kovats. And our pediatric honored hero is Gabby Siegel. If you could both, there we go. If you could both please join us on stage.
Hi, good morning everyone. My name is Janine, and I've been living with Crohn's disease for the past 18 years. I was diagnosed in the fall of 2000, a junior at Villanova. Ironically enough, that was also the same year that my brother was diagnosed. But unfortunately, that's not even the extent that this disease has touched my family. We have a cousin that lives with Crohn's as well. Both my brother and my cousin are here walking today. As I was preparing for today, I quickly realized I didn't want this to be a story of my personal challenges and struggles or the negativity that comes along with living with IBD. I thought maybe I could talk about a few things that I've been able to accomplish over the past 18 years despite my disease. For example, in spite of missing school a little bit during my junior year, I still graduated on time and I had a good GPA. Probably not good enough if you ask my dad, but I was happy with myself. Despite all of the back and forth to doctors, figuring out medications and dosages, I still enjoyed my 20s. I went out with my friends, we had summer houses at the beach, I made sure I had a good time. Despite my disease progressing, I began my career as a forensic accountant. And maybe not all of you know what that is, we don't audit dead bodies, but nonetheless, it's a high pressure environment, high stress job, and as you know, stress is not a friend to a crony. Despite taking about 16 to 20 different pills every day, I packed those pills up and I traveled to over a dozen countries. Despite going to the hospital numerous times and spending more time than I'd like to admit with NG tubes and all the grossness that goes along with that, I was able to find someone that could look past all of that and love me for the amazingly smart and funny person that I am. We'll be married 5 years this October. And finally, despite my fear of continuing my medication throughout my pregnancy, which had transitioned to injections after all of those pills, I had the most amazing experience being pregnant when I had no symptoms whatsoever. And I came out the other side with a beautiful little boy that's going to be 2 this September. And so, like I said, I didn't want this to be a woe is me story. I don't want sympathy. My challenges and my experience with this disease is no more significant than anyone else who's living with it. I know how much it sucks, and I know how hard it is to get out of bed some days. And even when you do, the vibrations of your own footsteps can hurt your insides, and you want to jump right back in, and I get it. But I was hoping that if I could share what I've been able to accomplish, that maybe I could help at least one of you change your outlook on your own situation, and hopefully not miss out on any good experiences of your own. So with that, I just want to say thank you to everyone for coming and donating, and I hope we have a great walk today.
Hi, my name is Gabby Siegel, and I'm honored to be this year's pediatric honoree for the CCF Take Steps Walk for Crohn's and Colitis in Brooklyn for 2018. My story began in April of 2014 during spring break. I began to have severe stomach pains and I was frequently going to the bathroom. My parents took me to my pediatrician, not knowing what else to do, and my doctor said that it was probably from constipation and that my stools would go back to normal in a few days. I randomly began to get low-grade fevers and I was rapidly losing weight. After monitoring me for several days, my parents took me back to the doctor and my mom sensed that there was something not right. There was no improvement. I started developing dark circles under my eyes and was always pale, and I had low-grade fevers every day. My pediatrician ran blood work and also requested a stool sample. She believed that I may have developed celiac disease. The results came back, and my iron levels were low, and one of my inflammatory markers were elevated. As soon as my doctor saw this, she called my mom into the office privately and told her that I needed to see a gastroenterologist immediately. Because the celiacs came back negative, my C-reactive protein was elevated, hemoglobin continued to decrease, there was blood in my stool, and lastly, there was family history. My grandfather had been living with Crohn's disease for over 30 years. My parents did the research and immediately knew that the doctor had to be affiliated with Mount Sinai in Manhattan, because that was the place that saved my grandfather's life 30 years prior, when no one even knew what Crohn's disease was. We found a doctor, but it took 2 weeks before my mom could get me an appointment with the gastroenterologist at Mount Sinai. In the meantime, while I was waiting for my appointment with the gastroenterologist, my pediatrician's office checked my hemoglobin regularly to make sure I wasn't losing too much blood that might require transfusion. Finally, my appointment day came. As soon as this new doctor looked at my blood work, she also suspected Crohn's disease. In order to confirm the diagnosis, she had to perform an endoscopy and colonoscopy. Upon completing the procedure, the doctor came and spoke to my parents and said that the inflammation was so bad that they could not even get the scope all the way through to the colon. The doctor could not believe that I was able to tolerate this pain, even though I wasn't in that much pain, or so my parents thought. I remember every morning I would lay on my bed, holding my stomach, and when one of my parents would enter the room, I would pretend to look for clothes. I was afraid of telling them because I thought they would take me to even more doctors, and I didn't want to go anymore. As suspected, the test came back positive for Crohn's disease, and when my doctor told us, I cried and cried. The next day, my friend and I hung out, and I realized I was so happy to know what was going on with me, even though it wasn't best news. I even wore a skirt that day, and to be honest, if you know me, I hate skirts. I was so relieved. But this was just the beginning. I was then put on multiple pills, about 12 pills a day. Then thankfully, I was eventually reduced to 2 a day, same pill morning and night. I was in remission fairly quickly. I was lucky because I was diagnosed very quickly and put on the right medications from the start. 4 years later, I am thrilled to report that I am still in remission. I feel great, and thanks to my doctor at Mount Sinai, who is truly my angel, I have gained about 50 pounds and have grown over 8 inches. CCF has allowed families to create new friendships. For us, it was the Ngolia family. My friend Paige Ngolia was the 2016 Pediatric Honoree, and together we hope our stories bring support to many of you. This is my 4th walk with CCF, and I'm truly honored to be asked to be the 2018 Pediatric Honoree. Paige and I created a team called the Purple Band Society. We will continue to raise money to help find better treatments and maybe one day a cure for Crohn's and colitis. I'm proud to announce that my team, the Purple Band Society, has raised over $27,000. I want to thank all of my family and friends, both old and new, for your donations, but most importantly, all of your love and support. Together, let's kick the crap out of Crohn's.
Thank you so much, Janine and Gabby. I just have to say, it takes a lot of bravery, it takes a lot of courage to share our stories. So let's give them another round of applause, please. Now, before we take steps, in celebration of our decade of difference, we would like to recognize all the past and present honored heroes. So would all of our past honored heroes please join me on stage now? That includes Eitan Goldberg, Marcus Grant, Paige Ingaglia, Janine Masella, Victoria Tedros, and Melissa Wilner. And I'm sorry if I butchered anyone's names. Do we have everyone up here? Now I want to hear a huge round of applause for these folks. They've shared their stories over and over again, and they've inspired us to be IBD warriors. Thank you all again for sharing your stories, for inspiring us to continue to raise money and to fight for better treatments and cures. Because of everyone on stage and all of you in our audience and everyone participating in the walk today, we are now closer to cures than ever before. So now, is everyone ready to walk or what? So, just a couple of reminders before we head out. The new walk route is a little bit shorter than last year. You guys can grab a map as we head out and look for volunteers and water bottles along the way. We want you guys to stay hydrated. It is hot, it's very sunny. Please take care of yourselves. There's bathrooms along the way as well. I would like to ask our Honored Heroes teams at this time, Purple Band Society and Rollin' with My Cronies, to head over to the start line to lead us off. And I will kick off a countdown for you all to follow. Thank you. Okay. Do you want me to? Okay. I also wanted to give a special thank you to Dr. Shukla from Weill Cornell Medical College for being here today, coming out to honor his patients. I think that speaks volumes to have our doctors, surgeons, and medical practitioners here. So thank you so much. With that, I'd like to get our countdown started to begin our walk. Are you guys all ready? Let's line up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Enjoy the walk, and don't forget, we have a closing ceremony right after this.